All right, what's up, Tycoon? Super excited for today's video. We're going to be taking a look at ticker symbol BEEM. This is Beam Global. All right. And the reason we're looking at it today is because I think it's got a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. We're testing a demand zone, and I expect to see a move here quickly, okay, pretty soon on Beam. All right. So what we're looking at is here's going to be kind of like our left shoulder area. Here's our head, and here is our right shoulder. Okay. Um, and then we have some supplies and demand zones. Okay, the green boxes are going to be demand zones. These are areas where there's a demand imbalance and buyers are going to step into the market, and we're going to see a reaction off of these price levels. Okay, so we got a demand zone right around 1350 down to about 13. We got one at 1218 down to 1160, and then we have one at 1090 to about 1018. Okay, those are our demand zones. We have an immediate supply zone above from 1515 down to about 1465. Okay. So we have our left shoulder here. Here's our right shoulder. Here's our head. As I was saying, we came down, we tested this demand zone, and I think there's a strong possibility we're going to see this drop back down all the way towards about 1023 here sometime soon. Okay, in the near term to immediate future, right? The reason being is the head and shoulders pattern. I think that we will get this right leg down to finish forming. Okay, it has started forming, and after we got our right shoulder, we are dropping. So what we may expect to see, okay, is we may expect to see a little bounce, okay, off of this demand zone here, back into our supply zone where we're going to get rejected. We were rejected here and here. Okay, we try to come up into these levels, and the supply imbalance brought us back down. And once we hit these levels, then that's when we could drop further down to here. Okay, and the reason being is because as I said, this is a demand zone here. All right, and we're gonna, as you can see, we came into this candle and we perfectly were bouncing here off of demand, our green candle. Okay, so there's buyers in the market at these price levels. That's what the demand zone is. There's a demand imbalance there. So we may see those buyers step in and come up, drive us back into the supply zone and bring it back down. But when we come back down, the buyers that are buying here, right, you're going to need more of those orders, right? So we may have, some passive orders, like some people with some limit buy orders, right, around 13 to 1350. Okay, and so that's what's going on is people's buy orders are getting filled right now, and those are passive buy orders. And then you have people doing aggressive buy orders who are coming in and trying to buy at market price. Okay, so that's the reason why you're seeing the bounce. And it may, as I said, it may drive us back into this supply zone where we'll see a drop. And once that happens, those buyers that were here previously, you have to ask yourself the question: are they still present in the market, or did that demand get eaten up? Right. And so demand zones have not been strong in this market environment. In a market where the SPY and the Nasdaq are down and not performing well, demand zones have not been a great area to purchase in for traders, right? So that's the kind of perspective I'm heading into this, where okay, we may see a bounce here, but once we come back and retest this demand zone, buyers most likely will be absent from the market, and there won't be any demand, and will fall lower into one of these demand levels below, and where I expect to see some support and buyers stepping in at these levels. But as I said, this is not a market that is really rewarding demand zones. We're coming in and testing demand zones, but we're not seeing strong bounces and strong movements off of our demand zones. All right. So hopefully that gives you guys some context. And maybe just add a little bit of a hedge or protection. Maybe get some puts if you own shares. Maybe sell some covered calls, things like that. Anything you can do to minimize risk, and minimize losses in the market if you are long term on Beam. Now, if you're short term swing trading, this is what I mean. I would look to see. I wouldn't hesitate, or I wouldn't be super anxious to rush in and buy or short this immediately, or buy it on the long side in this demand zone. You kind of just want to see what's going to happen here. Okay, I wouldn't mind if it just consolidates in this area and eats up all of this demand, and then we get a drop, or as I said, we could bounce here, come back into the supply zone before we get our drop. And then this demand zone would be even weaker, meaning that if we come up here and come back down, it's more likely that we'll fall through this demand zone and head down towards the next one. Okay. So thank you guys for watching the video. Supply and demand is a really helpful strategy and really helped give me an edge in the market, and is what helped made me start becoming a consistent and profitable trader. So if you need a supply and demand tutorial, something to really help you and give you an edge in the market, I suggest watching this video right here.